We are so glad you made it. It's DeFi Wednesday. Club NGMI folks. We've got Gump. We've got EZ. We've got Babs being Dabs, but not Dabs. He's being Babs. We're going to do some questing. We're going to do some summoning. We're going to be sad about the lack of a patch yet, but we'll get there. In the meantime,
I need jewel price to go up. I can't take this anymore. Every day I'm checking price and it's dropping. Every day, check price, too low. I have overinvested by a lot. Can Pump Skull do something? Help!
welcome, Pump Skull. How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good. How are you?
Can't complain. Can't complain. EZ, what's going on over there?
We've switched epochs and I haven't claimed yet, so I'm scrambling between missing mints on mainnet and going over back to Harmony to claim my weekly jewels.
Why do you care about mainnet?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what I imagine minting on mainnet.
I minted 2 or 3 different things today, and second guide something. I mean, yeah.
What else did you do besides the consoles? The wizards?
The whatever apes just happened.
Oh, the winter apes. I must have missed that.
Nope.
No, child apes, kid apes, AKC, Ape Kid Club, perhaps.
I don't even know what they are, and I minted them as well, and I haven't even dumped them.
Yeah.
So I think between the three of us, and once Babs is around, we'll have a full group of folks. So, hey, Pump, Lou is complaining that I'm very pixelated, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Could you stall?
Absolutely. Starting up
Okay.
some quests right now, hoping we get an egg. Have you got an egg yet, Easy?
No, I've got like 8 or 9 runes and no eggs.
Somebody
Someone's
has
got 2 eggs.
gotten 2. I think it was Mello. Has freaking 2 eggs. So
Okay.
I know there was so somebody in the DefiKingdoms Discord said they turned down multiple offers of 1,000 jewel for an egg, and I would take
That's a lie.
that in an absolute heartbeat.
That's a lie.
You are
There's no
still pixelated, by the way. I don't know if that
Oh,
does
good.
anything for you, but you
Great.
sound fine. Oh, it's not a sound issue.
Well,
So,
it looks like you're on chain, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
93 gray
there.
eggs, 95 blue eggs have been found. 200 eggs in what, 3 days? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's insane. So I'm starting some quests up, getting them queued. And in 18 minutes and 20 seconds, maybe we get a little egg.
I like that as a tease for the future folks. So let's talk about questing. What have you learned about questing? What is GTO about questing? We've learned that the green, God, down so bad. The green professions it's what matters. That's the only thing that matters. And so we've been buying and sexing as if it didn't matter that much. So
yeah, you go first, Easy.
We got new info. I don't know if it's a nerf or what, but we were not really looking so much at the back of the cards for our heroes. Well, the stats, right? And the professions, we were told were a 10% boost to efficiency on, your quest rewards. But with the low stamina that we have now, if you line up the profession with the quest, so if you have a forager, if you have a warrior who is not proficient at foraging, but they happen to have the foraging profession in green, you can quest 5 times rather than 3. So, that's like a, quick math, 40% more, 60% more, one of those.
I think they said 28 was what? I think the Lost Annals had said was
Yeah.
there's a 28% bonus. So how are you
That was my nickname in
handling
high
that?
school.
Because they say you get better rewards based on the stats, but you can quest more times with the profession. So how do you balance between I have 20 foraging and 10 fishing, and my guy's a fisher? Do you still run it into fishing? Because that's what I've been doing, just to rack up
Yeah.
XP.
That's what I've been doing too. For simplicity, I group them.
Mhm,
So I don't
yep.
know if we want to do like I'm happy to like run through a batch of quests. I just have too many heroes that like I don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
So I have you can do 6 at a time. So I have 6 fishers, I have 6 foragers, and I don't care about their stats. I'm just running them as often as possible. And then once all of the quests come out, then I can probably pick my spots a little better. But I'm just trying to optimize fishers to fish, foragers to forage, and then the rest, whatever.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Brandon has a great point. Need a stable boy. I was just thinking, like, logistically, how am I gonna manage that? I'm gonna need a spreadsheet with the IDs of my heroes, and then which ones, like a priority list of what questing I want to do with that specific one. And God, it's such a grind.
So someone suggested that we have a tagging system where you can put like there's 6 colors and you can flag your heroes with using your own system. And they said that is coming. So you'll have a customizable way to flag your inventory. So you know if I tag them, I'm using colors as an example. In green, I know my green guys, I should always do mining if I can. I know my orange guys, I should do fishing. Yellow with foraging. So hopefully, because we are not the only ones with this problem. I flip. How often do you both do flip all?
Yeah.
And then you have to, if they're miners or gardeners right now, and decide what do I do, and you can never remember them all. It's a pain.
Correct. I've gotten slightly
Honestly,
better at knowing what the stats align with, though. I used to just know the mining was strength and endurance, but now I think I know them all.
Yep.
Then what's fishing?
Luck and agility.
Luck and agility. Come on.
Well, I don't know these. So I was trying to do a pop quiz, and you guys were like, luck and agility.
Oh, I can't fill the pop quiz.
Oh, Lou has a good one. Lou wrote a list on my post-its. Lou, can you do me a favor? Can you count your post-its? Because that tells me that you're a post-it guy. So I'm just wondering how many you have around your workstation if you're there. Okay, so there was a big conversation in our little Discord chat about long-term what this looks like for the game. As in, we thought one thing based upon the white paper, and then there was a little bit of a wiggle room there about how the professions work. And then it feels like they use that wiggle room to change how much professions matter as far as questing goes. So people are saying, how do I plan for this in a GTO fashion, which would be game theory optimal? Basically, is you're trying to be as efficient as possible, because I know the 3 of us, we've overinvested by a lot. So we are trying to recoup our investments. So what's the plan here? And some people are saying use the current information that we have, and some are saying that my perspective is I don't know, because they're going to rebalance stuff constantly. So it's kind of just let it go and then see what happens then, and change your strategy as things go along. So Pump, what is your take on that as far as how do you manage what you believe to be currently GTO versus the long-term plans of the DefiKingdoms dev team?
So I would have never predicted that they would change it from, they would change the amount of times you can quest or the amount of stamina it takes. So for me, I'm a use what I have right now guy. If you try to predict stuff, you're probably going to be wrong.
Yeah.
So you might as well optimize with the info you have, because there are people that will think it's like in fantasy football. People say it's impossible to predict a 1 week outcome of a player. So do macro, like target share, that kind of thing. That's what I'm like, know what I know now and not predict, well, in this game script against this defense and this cornerback. I don't know if that was a good analogy or
right?
not. Well, yeah, it's just like, well, I'm going to use the last 10 games of how many times this person gets thrown the ball instead of what I think will happen in this one game. So I'm going to use what I have now, Guy. They are going to keep rebalancing it. They're still working on rebalancing mining and gardening per the team, which I don't think we'll get tonight. I'd be very surprised. And
the way
I'm
we might though, because the way they framed that last announcement was we're trying to cram a few more things in.
I think that's the meditation and the trader probably would be the first. I think those are weeks ahead of mining and gardening.
I know. I'm just trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to get the group frothy. If anything, I think it's a few more bug fixes versus you're not going to rush out a feature in like 30 minutes. Like that's just not going to be a thing that you would do.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Unless it's a bug that they caught in the alpha version of whatever this process is. So, Easy, how are you strategizing versus? We'll get to this in a little bit, but how are you strategizing on what heroes you're keeping, what heroes you're selling, and that kind of thing?
I'm overreacting by a lot. I can't help myself. So I had 30 or 40 heroes. I've sold in the past few days like 15 or 20, and now I'm back at whatever 30 or 35. I'm basically going one by one and mining. So I'll use mining as an example. Previously, all I cared about was class and stats. So I was like, if I had a warrior that was good in strength and endurance, that's a keeper. Or had blue endurance or whatever, that's a keeper. Now, and then like, a couple of days ago, I'm flipping through. I was like, oh, I have a warrior with 4 summons left. He's rare and is a fisher. It's like, this is not optimal. So I'm churning through. I'm trying to line up class with boosts with profession, and it's expensive because the market. I think playing this game 1, 2, 3 weeks ago, the hero market was like very inefficient. Everything was expensive, and then everything tanked. And now we're like finding an equilibrium. I think people are getting smarter. 50,000 heroes, which is a lot, and we can talk about that. But I'm trying as best I can to optimize each of my heroes, at least so that the class lines up with the profession, lines up with the stats. But I'm picky.
Is that through hero sex, or is that through buying off secondary and like selling and trying to flip and like? Okay.
Both. I've been like matchmaking for myself. So previously I've been renting. I have heroes that I like, and I rent whatever's compatible to make an advance. So if I had a warrior, I would go look for a rental of any knight that had lined up with the generation and whatever the summons. I was like, and then boom. Now I'm like buying 2 Gen 1s or 2 Gen 2s with similar 8, 9, 10 summons. And if the professions match, and it's like an 80, I think it's like 80 or 85%. If you match the profession, it carries down to the offspring or to the summon or whatever is the terminology that I prefer to use.
Child?
Child. So I'm matchmaking. I'm like looking for, let's say, the warriors. I was like, I'm trying to buy 1 warrior and 1 knight that both have the mining gene. And that's expensive because people are still frothy for miners. But that's what I've been trying to do.
God, that's got to take up a lot of time just trying to do all that. Or have you gotten pretty good at navigating the market and trying to find exactly what you're looking for?
I mean, I have my filters. Like, you can filter by attribute and just know I'm only looking for miners and I'm only looking for Gen 1 warriors. And then I just know like 300 jewel is too expensive, 150 is a good price. I have the couple of pairs that I look for. Once you know the advanced classes that you're trying to, because that's to me, that's the name of the game, is you shouldn't summon unless you're going to make an advanced class.
I would agree.
Paladin is OP, but all the others, like Ninja, Summoner, Dark Knight, they're all the top of the class of some profession. So we're just always hunting for that.
So hunt for that. To summarize, hunt for the advanced class and match it with the profession. And ideally you want to get stats. Are we still in the over 20 camp on these stats? Do we care that much about the stats when we're having hero sex?
So I think we've learned a lot, even in the last week, at least I have. I don't think we really knew the profession gene, the green, mining, gardening, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know that those got passed on, that two gardeners
Yeah.
had a high likelihood of making another gardener. So my first two heroes I ever bought were a forager and a fisher. I went back and looked. Today, I have like 80% foragers and fishers, which is great
Yeah.
now, but I never really looked as like, why am I getting all these? Because we didn't know that. And then another thing we learned or was confirmed is that stats and stat bonuses do not get passed down. Is what the
Yeah.
that's what the game mechanics person said, isn't it? Or just
Yeah.
stats?
Stats, but level 5, that's a different topic for
Oh
different day.
yeah, that one you can like boost the stat of the highest one. But I think they said like just because your parents both have 10 strength doesn't mean your child is going to have 10 strength. It could have 6 strength. Like that's not, the numbers are not passed down. So that's why, like you were saying,
Yeah.
we've been like, let's find 2 gardeners, Gen 1, say you're short on gardening like I am. Breed them together in-house, like not renting. Because a Gen 1, 10 of 10 and 10 of 10, your cost is what? I did the spreadsheet deal today. It's so cheap. It's like 20 jewel.
For the actual
For the summon, yeah.
summon. Yeah.
Could you get that spreadsheet? That'd be helpful.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
I put this in our.
This is what the people want. Wednesday night, we got a nice cozy fire behind the pump. Can you pull up that spreadsheet? Yeah, I can pull up that spreadsheet.
I spent a lot of time setting up my vibe here tonight. Try and shake things. Did anybody notice my Christmas tree star? I worked really hard on that.
No.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
I printed it and I taped it, and I had to explain why I was doing it.
Didn't you say you were low?
Well,
on
and earlier
clothing
today,
too?
you
I went and bought some just to do this. I'm like, do we have a stapler for the tree thing? And then I used tape, and I was cutting it out. All right.
So do you normally have a tree in this room?
I got this from the basement. It's in our storage room. Somebody, I was probably TD, last time said I had the decorations of a psychopath, and I took that to heart. So that's why we have our decorations.
I don't know if TD's here. I had one of my master's flags in the background last time.
Oh yeah, I got mine on the wall there. I did appreciate that you put that out last time.
Now I'll see if I can put it on the ledge somewhere.
I mean, this is next level. Like here's the problem. You let these guys on for a stream and they're like, oh, okay, we'll do Easter eggs, we'll do content, we'll do themed content, we'll get stuff from the basement. Do you normally decorate for Christmas this early, December 1st? Is that when you go?
My rule is the day after Thanksgiving is the first acceptable day to put Christmas stuff up. If it was up to me only, it would be nothing. But I have a roommate that likes it, so.
You have 2 roommates, so.
I have 2 roommates. All right, so this is going to probably, if my voice doesn't put you to sleep, then this content will.
No,
I think this is helpful. Like I personally need this.
So there was a tweet of a really prominent DefiKingdoms. I wouldn't even call him an influencer, maybe a whale / influencer. He's pretty active in the game, was in early. He said, you guys can get cheap fishers and foragers if you just buy 2 Gen 1, 10 of 10s, 10 summons left, and just breed them together over and over and over again. So I was like, okay, let's see what the actual math is on this. So I went in this morning and used only floor prices I didn't even look at like, well, this class and it makes this thing. I didn't look at professions. This would be like if you told your mom to go buy 2 heroes and sex them with no other information. This is what would happen. So you see here, your first summon is 32 jewel total. I couldn't tell you the last time I summoned a hero for 32 jewel. Have you ever? Either of you? 'Cause I haven't.
Early.
Maybe real early.
Like
Yeah.
today.
So I did that. And then I did the floor price of the resulting child with the percentages. This is for commons. This is like the dirt cheap way to make cheap heroes. And then, so I won't go through all this because it's kind of boring.
Wait, the floor of a Gen 2 common is 69?
The floor of a Gen 2 common with 9 summons left, so look at this,
Yeah.
is 69. People pay a huge premium for summons. So you see down here,
Got it.
some of these sample sizes were a little bit small, so if there was no 1 summons left, I just did a similar price as the 2 and so on.
Sure.
So you wait them out, do your profit, and then this bottom part was, okay, if I buy my 2, and right now 2 random floor 10 of 10s is like 125, 130, 140 jewel. So I buy the 2, I breed them together, I sell the child, and I sell the parents when I'm done with that summon. This is the profit I end up with. So you just do that once. This is assuming liquidity in the market. 41, 62, 80, 90, 86, 102. The goal of this was not to see how much jewel can I make by summoning and flipping. It was, is there cushion to do some free roll summons that I could possibly keep for myself and have a little left over or break even on them? We'll stop there.
I like that. So that's
Love it.
telling me basically, well, the bad news is in my head, I was fully ready to take some jewel profit at this epoch.
It's not time.
I don't think it's time yet based on this EV calc that you're doing. Or I'm taking it from the bank, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Pump, is this this is just floor base classes, right? So this doesn't take into account the advanced class equity, or it does?
No, this has no advanced class equity because we don't have like true probabilities of advanced classes.
I think
we
it's
have
somewhere 20%, right?
Okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
So you could even adjust this and just raise the floor price or weight it. So when I say weighted, I meant, let's pretend these percentages, which are published at the top here and right here, actually hold. Your small sample size, if you do this 10 times, is not going to come out like this. You might get all commons or you might get 3 rares. But if you did this 1,000 times over, you would come out ahead by using these Gen 1s. And I want to be very clear about this. If you try to do this with like Gen 3s or even Gen 2s, you're probably going to lose money.
Yeah.
Because the summons get so much more expensive.
Well, and you can see it. Go to M2. M2 is the most profitable summon, right? And that's the first one after you buy it. So if you shave that profit of 60 off, then you lose it. So you're cutting into your EV. Already you can see if you sell after 1, if you're looking down at E21, if you subtract 60 off of it, you're out of profit if you just do the second. So just think, or you make 1.5 jewel, I guess, if you do it, because you wouldn't be able to have the first row. So that's really good to know as far as an analysis is concerned, as far as floor pricing from before. So I wonder,
this will get way more expensive if you're trying to do warrior knights. So your parents are going to be more expensive, but you also have to say the floor prices, if I just filtered by warrior and knight, which I didn't for this because the samples were smaller, the floor prices would be higher too. So I feel like it would balance out a bit between the two factors. So
That circles back to EZ's point of the market is more efficient now. So if we're assuming an efficient market, then this kind of principle would apply across classes and across price point based on class. I think that's a good point for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. My bottom line was, if I did this and I summoned, what's this? 7 times, and I hated all of them, and I wanted to punt every single one, there's a chance, including the parents, I could still come out ahead, or at worst, break even. But I'm not going to take a
that's the key. Is this isn't even like, this isn't EV calculation, really. This is floor calculation.
Yes. Yep. So it's something I've wanted to do. I was going to do it last night, and then I pissed away a bunch of jewel on some shitty summons, and here we are.
Well, I've started to do this. What I don't know how long it lasts is my only thing, because each time you summon, you have a 24-hour cooldown. So I would not recommend, paying the upfront, 300 jewel or whatever it is for the 2 heroes, and then hoping, you make that back after a week of doing this.
Right.
Ooh, there we go.
I didn't know it was 30.
I knew we did a test one.
Nice.
Gotta pump that up.
We like it.
So for heroes that I want, I've found, and I'm gonna hopefully not get front run, archers and thieves are much cheaper than knights and warriors, and you can make a dark knight, which is pretty good as an advanced class. It's not as good as a paladin, but it's pretty good. So that I found to be a sweet spot of, you can get a good miner or a good forager with a dark knight. So I've been doing it and just kind of stocking my inventory that way. And if you get a roll you don't love, then you can sell it. I'm not doing it for the profit, so to speak. I'm just trying to help optimize my inventory. If that makes sense. Now that we have the information that if you match up your professions and you have an 80% carryover, that's huge.
So I was hoping that Babs would be here before we went to this, but I think we need to talk. I want to do the fuck, marry, kill with the heroes, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get there, I want to address a couple other kind of disparate questions. So EZ already mentioned we're at 50K heroes, and there's no signs of them stopping. So what do we do with that? What do we do with that supply? Do we think there's enough demand for that many heroes? Because I know there's a whale that's in our chat that's listed all but 2 of their heroes, which is interesting. That's mostly because of time management purposes, I think, for him. But also it might be he's seeing an oversaturation coming. So where would these heroes go? What are they all going to be used for in the future? And what do we think about that supply issue?
Is that the guy with the 3D Penelopes?
Yes.
You rehearsed
maybe. That? Okay. So here's my take on the heroes. First thing, I do not like when people bitch about oversupply. I hate it. Here's why. Number one, the same people say, how is Jewel going to be deflationary? Where's their Jewel sinks? Guys, we're spending, EZ and I spend, maybe Dangy, over 100 Jewel per summon. And that all goes back to the game. It goes to the team. It goes to quest funds. It goes back to the pools. It is a huge, massive, 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 massive Jewel sink. Insanely huge. Number two, I said this in our chat earlier today. Not every hero is entitled to be good. If you did Zed and you probably bred your horses, most of the time your horse is sucked, right? Did you do that easy?
No.
It was like real life horse breeding.
Oh, I know about it. I
95.
think I missed the beginning, and I just
Yeah,
had a bad experience
like
with Top Shot. I was just never going to chase.
they're 95% of the time they're going to be trash. 4% of the time they're fine. 1% you hit the nuts. But the one time that you hit the nuts, you can flip it for a huge profit, or it's going to be very powerful. So I like when it goes up, personally. Do I like getting shitty heroes? No. But the floor has also gone up since more have been like the day of quests. The
Floor's up like
apps,
50%.
yeah, the floor was 38 jewel the day of
Yeah.
questing coming out in that morning, and now it is
In the mid 50s, I think.
it's 50 right now.
50%.
So that's what's 12 divided by 38. I mean,
It's a third. Yeah.
right. That's 31% increase, and more have been printed. And when we get mining and gardening coming out, you can bet your ass that's going to go up even more when people want to buy heroes that they can use. So I'm done.
Gump, I'd be careful when you're betting your ass right now.
Yeah.
Why? Oh,
And then you said bet your ass. That I was trying to let it go.
I didn't catch that.
It's very good. Thank you, Big Suck, for watching. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yep. That's nice.
That's interesting, Gump, because I haven't heard you complain about a lot of these archetypes of crypto people, which I think it's funny. I think it's a good bit.
Do
I don't
I?
want you to ever stop.
You like to
Okay.
complain about complainers, and you love it. Simply love it.
Yeah.
But it's like the people who undercut when you're listing NFTs, that kind of stuff. Like those people. Yeah. See, and I like it, but the people who the oversupplyors, I'm one of those too. And the when tier sinks, like that was partially a bit for me, but partially not, because I had a bunch of tiers, and then tier price went up and I dumped some, which is great. So I do see the concern of the oversupply, because we're on an exponential curve to a certain degree with the heroes. It's not exponential truly, because you get reductions in how many summons you can get by each generation, but I don't know what kind of curve that would be, but it's not a linear curve. It's going up. So I wonder what the cap is going to be on the heroes. And then we have other chains too.
There is no
so I
cap.
don't know.
There's mathematically cannot be a cap.
Oh, because
It's
Gen
impossible. Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
They can always make, until they change the cooldown or the cost on Gen 0 summons, there literally cannot be a cap. And they're never going to do that, because the biggest holders of Jewel own those Gen 0s, and they do not want them to leave. So, but as long as they have utility, like you can take a shitty hero and still use it. It's not like a Zed horse where it's completely worthless. You can still use your shitty heroes. And you said the exponential curve. The amount of users in the game and the TVL of the game is also an exponential curve. So you could argue that the two things have gone up together.
Is it like the dot NFTs that as ETH hits an all-time high, they mint a couple more?
Well, you joke, but I think it's kind of is like that, because the more people who want to play, the more people will summon. So if somebody comes over and they summon, that's one more user, one more hero. And then you have us idiots who are just printing heroes and just hammering that EV.
Right.
Andrew Andrew, yes, there were reports of crappy heroes pulling eggs, but that's always going to be the case. It's always that's the way that numbers work.
That's RNG.
As far as a 1% chance will happen 1% of the time, doesn't mean that it won't happen. So I'm not concerned about that in particular, Andrew. So I get your point though, Gump. If we keep this exponential growth as far as DeFi Kingdoms goes, great, then we're good. But until that goes, as long as we keep this pyramid growing, just keep it growing, and they're going to be
Even
okay.
if the users stop growing, though, like my main point was, not every hero is going to be good. Like, you're going to have some that just suck. And that, if you summon and it sucks and you don't know that's a risk, you should not be playing in the first place. Like, they're going to suck. I'm sorry. They're just going to.
Would you, so the floor is 50 now. In a month, you would speculate the floor is lower, but the median price of a hero you or I or any person with skin in the game would actually want and would say is a good hero may be flat or up, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the odds of summoning a good hero, the rate of good hero summons, however you want to quantify that, will still be less than, hopefully, the growth of users in the game. I mean, we say the floor is 50, but when we're going shopping, when are you ever looking at a 50 jewel hero? You and I. Never. Like, the heroes on the floor are trash. So the ones that actually matter, which will become more evident as more quests come out, peer-to-peer battle come out, land quests come out, the good heroes are going to go way up in floor price, and the bad ones will go down because they're not useful. But it'll be a great entry point for a new user who only has $100 to spend.
And back to Gump's spreadsheet, that's why
they
Brian, what, excuse me?
Yeah, we just got an at Orc Gods. Somebody's trying to buy one in the trading post. Yeah.
Who's selling Orc God? Get out of here. Get out of here.
Do you guys have an Orc God? In the Orc DAO?
No.
Not in the DAO.
Individually. The DAO has been dissolved for all intents and purposes.
Okay. What's the floor on an Orc God right now?
Infinity.
I don't think any are listed.
How
One
many
was
are
sold
there?
For 20 a week ago.
There's 13 listed. Oh, we're talking about, this is DeFi Kingdoms.
This is different. Yeah.
Okay.
Stream.
No, get out of here,
Thank you, Brian. But I hate you, Brian.
No.
Look who it is.
Hey, dweebs.
Here.
What's up?
How's it going, Mr.
Come
Babs?
on, you're not even talking about DeFi Kingdom. You're talking about orcs. Just total dweeb stuff, right?
We got distracted.
Wasn't us.
I love it.
Love it.
So Babs, here, basically, we've been talking about sex and how it works and heroes and all that kind of stuff. But this is a great transition point. Do you have your papers ready, or you're writing?
Oh, I totally forgot. Sure. I can grab one.
Yeah.
I'll grab one. I'm
Great.
useless. I know.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
Love Babs.
He does this he does this full time, right?
Stream, yeah. He just sits in his basement and with his drop ceiling and does it.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed. Look at his blinds. Like there's like 8 inches of blinds. That's very funny to me.
He's in a basement.
I get it, but why would
small windows?
But I've never seen those blinds that small. Like, never seen it. So, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go through. I'm not as good at this game theory mumbo jumbo as these fine fellas. We're gonna play a little game with my heroes, and we're gonna play fuck, marry, kill with them. And fuck would be, in general, you want to find another hero to summon with that hero. Marry would be it's your long-term hero. That's going to be your grinder that's going to stay with you for your life. And then you have your kill, which is just dump it on the floor. Useless. Not even gonna bother doing it. Yes, correct. You can't talk about orcs, but I can talk about blinds. Because honestly, as TD knows, and he found out, if you get me on a tangent, I will go on 1,000 tangents. So it's your fault, Brian.
So I need
any questions about the game?
I need an M, an F, and a K on the paper, like 3 different papers.
Yeah.
Do they not play fuck, marry, kill in Canada there, Babs?
I was making sure. I didn't want to get. I don't want you guys getting mad at me because I had the game wrong.
Now, can we set a common understanding that the answers to this game are for you to get a good hero that will earn you jewel and good rewards, not to flip? We're not trying to flip heroes, right?
Well, that's the kill hero. Basically, this
they're
is let's
hand in
assume,
hand. Yeah.
yeah.
Killing
Let's
it, killing
assume
it,
that I am.
selling it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's say that I'm in the game through July 2022, when Locked Jewel starts to become unlocked. So we'll assume that kind of time horizon. Okay. I'm going to write down our answers too.
The problem with
Just what
this is, and maybe this is
Financial
just
advice.
this is me being difficult, but technically we don't know if we should even be selling heroes right now, right? Like maybe the play is to accumulate all of them and never sell because you can put them all to work, right? Like that's the you know what I mean? Like I'm just throwing the question out there. How
Well-
do we know you should be selling any of them?
Let's go here very briefly, and I'll brief you on this, Babs. Basically,
Okay.
this Gump spreadsheet, I think you may have seen it.
Yeah.
Essentially, it says that you can do it's plus EV right now to do some summoning with a Gen 1 and a Gen 1, and then cycle through. So let's assume that it's relatively plus EV to dump
Okay.
and then bring them back and sex again. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The
also,
assumption
let's-
that you're selling it to sex for a better one.
that's right.
Yeah,
You're getting
the K means you're dumping and you're going to just rebuy something better, even if it's more
Yep.
expensive, because you don't see a future for.
Okay.
Okay, great. I think we've done. Do you want to explain the rules again? We could do that if we would like to.
No,
I'm just
good.
kidding. All right, first one. Let's do Stas Sorin Strong. We got a Wizard Monk. Not great. Gen 1, good. And we got
7
a Forager.
summons.
What's that? 7 summons.
7 summons.
So what are we thinking about this? That's a lady, this young lady. Gump, what are your initial thoughts on this Wizard Monk?
I think we should all hold them up at the same time. Then
Yeah,
when,
let me.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I
Then
forgot to
if
write down my thing.
if we disagree, we can talk about it.
K is kill, not keep.
K is sell.
Yeah, I got you.
K is kill.
Okay.
So
All right,
this
are you
is
ready?
a monk.
One. Monk Wizard.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm ready.
1, 2. Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's go over this. So I'm a kill, and so is Gump. I just don't think there's a long-term history here. I don't see the upside. So easy is a marry, which means hold on to this one. Don't do much.
For now, with an asterisk.
What's the asterisk?
A wizard is one of the better base classes for foraging, and foraging is the quest that's live now. So unless you're trying to sell the top, which we are all notoriously bad at, I would just grind this one while foraging is live. Sell it in a week.
Yeah.
Sell it in 2 weeks. Sell it when you think mining is going to come, and you'll pivot. I don't think the floor, like, you're not going to get a ton of jewel for it because it's not sexy, but this could be a really efficient grinder for you for a couple of weeks.
That's not very nice to Miss Strong. She's not sexy.
Isn't a wizard like mid-tier forager though? I guess for basic classes it's
For
second
basic,
best.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
silver line.
So
I don't know.
I had reaped out my answer afterwards. This game's gonna take forever.
Yeah.
You can go quick.
You can.
And we won't do all my heroes.
The only reason I would say to fuck it is you can make a ninja with a pirate. Ninjas are you could buy a pirate fisher and try to make a ninja, which is good at fishing, but it's a common.
That's a good
so-
idea because I don't have a fisher actually. So that's a good idea.
But yeah, like it's a Gen 1 with 7 summons left still. Like, why wouldn't you fuck it a couple times? Like that's why like we used to get like so hyped about these heroes, like Gen 1s that still had 7+ summons. We used to love these, and now all of a sudden we're saying they suck. Like I don't know why I always sex them down to at least 4 or 5 summons left. If you already sexed them once, right? Like why stop now? I guess.
Yeah.
And like why can't you try why you guys are saying find a pirate and try and make a ninja? Like why can't you do a wizard priest? Like why do you have to you know what I mean? Like why can't you try and summon one of those?
Summon or.
Yeah. Right? And you can try and find
right,
like a priest with a guard and profession, right? And then at least you have a chance of getting a gardener, right?
Yeah, I'd want to differentiate. That's a good point. So the heuristic here, or the thinking here, is go for the advanced class and then go for the profession that matches that advanced class, which Babs is saying that independent from what we said earlier, which is the general strategy. Okay, let's move on. Brian does have a good question. Why do these heroes have stamina? Sometimes life gets in the way, Brian. Okay. How about this rare warrior? Gen 1.
Oh, baby.
7 out of 10 summons. We've got 20 for mining, but we've got fishing and wisdom intelligence here.
2.3 fishing already. You've been grinding him.
I think we're all going to have the same
know.
answer on this one.
Oh,
I mean,
I got some new info.
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
1, 2. I want to marry. Yeah.
That's a great. Oh,
Easy's killing it.
Get rid of it.
Why?
What do you want? Why do you want a rare warrior fisher?
I don't think. I think we're putting too like we went total 180. Like we put no emphasis on profession, and now we're putting too much on profession. I think. Like, I get the fact that you can.
Maybe
I get the fact that you can quest a little more often, but I don't know if you're going to have 50 heroes that are all optimal, right? Like you're not. Maybe you will. But like like personally myself, I'm not going to have 12 gardening profession wizard priests, right? Like you're not probably going to have that combo. Well, maybe if you have 80 heroes, you do, but I don't have 80 heroes right now. Like not everyone's going to be able to have 80 heroes. Keep that in mind, right? Like I think not having the totally optimal hero doesn't mean it's completely useless.
The chat wants you to punt it.
My Mary was for the stat growth only because it's a rare night. Your mining stats,
warrior,
or same thing.
Idea.
Your stat growth for a rare, I have a rare plus bias where the stat growth of those is going to be so much higher than a common. Like, sure, you could sell this for 150, 200 jewel, maybe 150 at max, and that could buy you one rental, one and a half good rentals, and you could both likely end up with those being shit. So I don't know.
Here's my question: would you rather have like a warrior rare, or a like wizard common, but the wizard has a gardening profession? Like, how do you differentiate?
Easily the rare.
Yeah, okay.
But I'd probably rather have the wizard that's aligned and pocket the jewel for a rainy day.
Yeah, I think Easy's just being justifiably picky. I don't mean that in a negative way. I think you're being correct, and lining everything up. That's what you're prioritizing above everything else, really.
It's a good hero, though.
Like,
we've gotten very picky. It is a good hero.
Yeah. Rares do matter, Lou, and here's why. Is because they start with higher. Every rarity starts with a maximum amount of cumulative stats. So a mythic level 1 starts with more, if you add them all up, higher amount than a common. Number 2, every 5 levels, you get a bonus on a certain amount of stats. A common is 0. An uncommon is 1. A rare is 3. A legendary is 5. And a mythic, I think, is 6. So, and they've said stats. The higher the stats, the better rewards from your quests you'll get. Maybe you can't do them as often if the profession doesn't match. But as we move ahead in the game and the stat growth becomes way wider, like a warrior miner at level 20, a warrior who's a fisher at level 20 is going to kick the shit out of a pirate miner at level 20 if they're both mining. So I guess maybe I'm thinking more like mid to long term than today.
That's how I was looking at it too. Like right now, that pirate miner would be better, but but 10 levels
Sure.
in, it's not even going to be close. So like, why are we saying like why we think it's so short term? Like, I think there's going to be a point where level 10 is the norm, right?
Yeah. At level 20, no matter what profession it is, you're not going to mine with a pirate. You're just not going to. It's just not going to happen. Because the
to
stats are
get
going to be
there,
so different.
wouldn't that profession matter though? Because then you can mine quicker, therefore getting more XP, right? Or am I
40%
thinking
more
about it
often you're
incorrectly?
mining.
I don't know that that's going to make up for it though.
Mhm.
And with this one specifically, the rarity made a difference for me. That's why I decided to marry. If that was a common, I would have agreed to kill it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So we had a question in the chat from Dan SE or something else. I don't know how to pronounce handles. I apologize. To look at their hero. So we have a common archer pirate. We've got 5 summons left. Good job on the no stamina. That means you just went questing. Congratulations. And let's look at the back. Oh, purple agility.
This was an archer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a mine.
What are we
It's a
thinking?
forager.
Yep.
Archer's the
best basic forager, right?
Well, hold on. Are we doing an FMK here?
Yeah.
Scott wants this.
I mean, Gen 3. Okay.
Are people rustling papers right now?
Yeah.
This is great. Do you have a notebook of DefiKingdoms like information?
No, I have letters on a notebook.
Oh, so we're doing FMK? I'm sorry. I didn't even. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what he asked. He wanted us to look at it and do the game.
I know. I thought we were just assessing it. I forgot we were playing the game. All right, I'm ready. 1, 2. I'm killing this thing. I guess not. You all like it.
Why would you kill it?
Why would you kill it? Like, foraging's open. It's a good forager. Like, why would you kill it right now?
It's the best basic class forager you can have.
Yeah.
Here's why. I don't know what I'm doing, and you made me think quickly. So don't worry about me. So Pump, you were Mary, right?
No, I was a fucker.
Do you want to fuck it with Gen 3 with only 5 summons left still? Like,
it's going to be expensive.
So it depends on your bankroll. I would fuck this at least once or twice. Here's what I'd do. I'd find a Thief Fisher, possibly Dark Knight Equity. You could get a Thief Fisher, which is the best at fishing, or a Thief Forager, which is fine, or an Archer Fisher, which is fine. I would not just leave this unfucked. I would marry it if I had to, but I prefer to fuck it a few times before I married it. I would not sell this under any circumstance because it's already at 19. 19 stats for Forger like this for a common is really good.
Yeah.
So I would not
anything with purple I like too, right? But it's better than a basic.
Yeah, I mean, archers are not really great at anything. They're good at a couple things, but it's a good all around. And if you try to sell this easy, what do you think you get for it? 60 jewel, maybe
60. Yeah,
55.
I don't know if foraging has. You may fetch a premium because foraging quest is live.
Yeah.
But I would just grind this while foraging is live because you can do 5 quests whenever your stamina bar is full. It'll be pretty efficient. I don't think it's worth investing to summon with it because your upside it's so expensive because your base cost is 32 jewel just from this side plus whatever you pair it with is going to be a minimum. Like you're going to spend 50, 60, 70 jewel to summon, and it may be plus EV, but depending on your bankroll, your median outcome is going to be a loss of a couple, 10 jewel, 20 jewel. I would just keep it and see if you can extract. Who knows how? Like I'm holding. I don't know. This is a good question. The inventory, you guys. I know some of you've been trying to buy the runes and the eggs. I'm just holding what I have. I don't know how useful it'll be or what it's worth. I think there's no harm in you just take this to the foraging 3 times a day, 5 quests, and see what items you get, and then sell it in a week, sell it in 2 weeks if you don't love it.
Yeah,
grind it for now.
the floor on this for a foraging archer, the floor. So there's 1 for 4 for 72, and then 8 for 100. So you probably get 80 jewels out of this. That's
But yeah, what like it's
decent.
only if you want the jewel. Like otherwise, this is a good worker. Like why would you like? That's
Yeah,
why
I
said
would not
keep,
sell
right?
this.
Like
It's
I don't think you get the value for it now versus what you can squeeze out of it for a couple of weeks
when you level it up.
Correct.
Yep.
we have no
once you
idea what
forage and
these.
hit those eggs.
Yeah, we have no
Go ahead,
idea
Beth.
like what some of the other items are even worth. Like they have a value on like the mag page, but like maybe that those items that you can craft with them are actually more valuable than we think, right? Like once they're live, like we don't know that yet, right? So you might kick yourself if you sell like a good forager for 80 jewel in a couple weeks, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, we've got another request in the chat, and I kind of like taking these requests.
Yeah,
This is fun
this
for
is
me.
fun. So for that last one, I just want to end with this. If you have a medium to large bankroll and you're feeling horny, it's okay to fuck it, but don't sell it.
Yeah.
Did you guys
I'm down with
talk about what's an appropriate ratio of like hero value to LP value? Like what should like and I'm lost. Like I don't really know how much you should have in the LP versus what you should have for heroes. Obviously trying not to over lever myself one way or the other. Do you guys have any thoughts on like what the correct balance is for people out there?
This is very funny asking this group about bankroll management. It just cracks me up.
Yeah, but like it's I mean we don't have
they say
good
now, they do.
Yeah, we don't have good bankroll management. Like we're probably all over invested in this. But what's the percentage? I'm more saying everyone has a bankroll. What percentage of that bankroll would you have in heroes compared to the LP?
I would have, if you have more than 2 ETH in the game, I would have at least 6 heroes that you would send to mine. This is what I'm about to say is assuming that you're doing 3 times a day, clicking the button, setting an alarm, going back to do it again. 6 for mining, 3 for every LP you're in. We're in 4, 5, 6 LPs. That's 18. Because you're clicking 2 buttons to get free shit, like to do nothing and wait.
Well, and it's not free, but I think it's more important than free because you're getting it earlier, and then you can do whatever you want. You could even hyper compound if you really want to with that jewel you unlock.
For mining, yeah, but for gardening, it's a bonus. It's on top of, like, it doesn't take out of what you have. So for gardening, that was my free comment. Sure, maybe it's only 6 jewel a day. If you found $42 on the ground, would you pick it up? If it took you 5 minutes to pick it up? Probably. I would.
Yeah.
So you're saying gardeners or miners? Like you
gardeners, when you send them, you can do 1 gardener at a time for every LP, every pool that you're in. So if you're in 6 pools, and for every pool you need 3 for full uptime.
Okay. Because I think originally you said miners, so I wanted to make sure we're talking gardeners.
Well, he wants both. Pump has somehow. Can I FUD Pump's bankroll management real quick?
Yeah.
I wanted to FUD it too after. I'm joining you on the FUDing it.
Because he's up to 18 heroes with a 2 ETH bankroll, which is $9,000, and a hero floor is 60. So 60 jewel times 360.
You have more in heroes than you would have in the LP at that point.
Like,
do we really think having 50-50 allocations appropriate? Like to me, I think you're better off having more in the LP. It's safe, like you're earning it quicker, you're probably safer.
But if
that's why I'm asking the question, right? Like what is the appropriate allocation?
If you have 2 ETH in though, you're probably only in 1 pool. So I'd put you at 9.
Yeah.
And then fishing and foraging is just a bonus, whatever you want to do.
I
Those
agree.
two don't have quantifiable jewel rewards. Gardening and mining will have quantifiable jewel rewards. So if I had 2 ETH in, I would get 9 heroes. Your hero value is not lost. Like you can still,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
they're worth something. It's not a sunk cost. So you're just investing 3 ETH. So an additional 1 or 2 to grow your investment even more. And that's worth something.
This is why the bridge gets so much traffic.
I love this. This is we're leading. Probably let us right there. If you bridge once to get in the LP, and then you're like, oh, now what do? Now I need to buy heroes. Okay, I'll bridge over. And you're like, oh well,
Right.
if I have this many heroes, I should get more LP. Okay, I'll go bridge over again. Oh wait, I got too much in the LP. Okay, I'll bridge over again, get more heroes. It's crazy. It really is crazy.
So personally, like I'll use myself as an example. I have about 20% of my value in heroes. Compared to the gardens, like that excludes lock jewels, etc. Like, so my garden value versus my hero, it's about 20% I have heroes. And to me, like that feels comfortable. Like it feels like the appropriate amount, but I could see people being more hero side compared to the LP side, but that's kind of how I settled. But what about you guys? Like, what do you add?
I'm trying to take my inventory off of.
How are we measuring this?
So like your hero
Like,
value on your
trusting
mag page. Well, it's the quickest way to do it, right?
whatever.
Like the hero value on your mag page compared to your garden value on the mag page.
Ooh.
I'm
probably
currently
have more
1/3.
heroes.
1/3.
You have more hero value than your garden value.
Oh no.
You got to refresh until Mag finds your jewel 1 and you're like.
I have. Hold on here.
I'm at of my whole, I'm at 2/3 gardens and 1/3 heroes.
Okay. So I might be light compared to you guys in heroes.
I'm about a quarter.
Are you okay? So you're closer to me.
I'm like I try to be, and this is what I tell people. And I don't have math to prove it, but it feels right. 20% heroes, 20% bank, 60% LP.
Okay. I'm 0% bank because I'm not a pussy, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm at 38%, but I have 2 heroes that inflate that number.
Yeah, so if you have a myth, it kind of messes you up, but
it does. So that's why I don't love that metric.
Woo, Ryan.
Because if I took those 2 out, I'd be at like 20%.
Well, these people hit
the
rare.
Question, though.
So,
but that is also the question. Is like maybe there is more value in the heroes because that's actually the game. That's actually the game, right? Like
it's an investment in the game.
There's going to be incentives on heroes because you need people to play the game, right?
Well,
but the lazy answer is LPing, right? Like you just sit back and you hope to accumulate jewel, but maybe that's not the right answer. And that's honestly why I was asking. I'm just curious.
I gotta say, I am so horny right now. Like all of our answers, not right now. I'm ready. I would need you all to like tell me what to do. I need to go slow and think carefully what I'm going to do. But all of our answers have been more hero sex. The answer from Gump spreadsheet was do it correctly, have safe sex, but do more sex, and then sell it back. And the answer here is, for me, to do more sex, because what I'm hearing is their dollar values are skewed because they've hit that legendary mythic. I've only hit, I'm glad that I hit rares, but I haven't hit a legendary or mythic. If I keep having sex with them, I'm going to hit a mythic or a legendary, and then my value is going to go up. So if I really want to, that's the way to play it, is to, as they famously say, keep fucking that chicken.
The math has changed. A week ago, I tried my best to stop summoning. The hero floor was 35, 38, 40. And I was not hitting the rarity lotto, and it was down bad. The math has changed. Hero prices are up, and you know better how to influence your outcomes. So if you're smart, it's probably plus EV. And even if it's minus EV, it's like close enough to like fund the fun and build your portfolio. I think green light to summon right now.
Do we worry that changes quickly like it changed last time though? Like it was we had a 3 to 4 day stretch. Yeah. We had a 3 to 4 day stretch where it was a great decision to summon until it wasn't, and then it was quickly it wasn't. So that's the only other thing is like the safe answer would be like not to go crazy still, because that could change 2 to 3 days if the quest hype kind of wears off, right?
When the wishing well came out, we were done.
Go ahead.
We were being minus EV when the wishing well came out. Like, we know a lot more today. So if you summon correctly, taking into account professions and classes, advanced class equity, rarity equity, I think you can come out not ahead. The goal of none of this is to make profit.
This is great.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's great. I fully support it.
It's very funny.
Not that anyone needs my approval.
Okay. I have another hero queued up if we want to review. Scott
Yeah,
had one for us to review, but it's just a monster, so I'm scared of that.
I'm very horny, so as soon as we're done with this, I'd love to increase my hero value.
Okay, then feel free to get that queued up.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can also queue it up in the background while we do this.
Ooh,
so,
pirate.
All right, we got Dillis, Wild Dream,
10 summons.
I mean, this is that's easy. Ready? 1,
flip it.
2.
Oh no, you have to flip it around.
Well, yeah,
I don't care.
Yes, you do.
Easy call.
You're right.
Easy call.
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
Oh,
that's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy call. Like that one. Yeah, too easy.
Oh, fishing too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Worm. Love it, Worm.
That one you'd sex with 5 to 6 times easy and just keep.
You're going.
Right?
So here's a good question. I've seen more screenshots of this, and I'm guilty of it. You guys are going for advanced, like beyond 5. So you have a 5. 5 out of 10. You keep going. So then
for a Gen 1,
if you bank, you get a 4, and then you go again. You bank, you get a 3.
No, I probably stop at 4.
Okay, you stop
for
at 4.
For a Gen 1 though.
I'm Gen 1. You could probably go to 3, right?
With a good profession.
Yeah, you could probably go to 3. I don't like going to like lower than 3. I know like Carlini was doing that where he was having like babies with 1 and 2, but
this goes back to the math though, that there's still a cushion to come out even or ahead, even if you go to 0 for Gen 1.
True.
Maybe not 0, maybe 1, but if you go to,
but that's like Gump, that's taking the math right now at this moment, right? By the time you get down to that many summons, like it might not be the same market, right?
Even your 8th summon is only 60 joule for a slot machine pull that you could still use to work for you for 60 joule total. If you're breeding in-house, not renting, I would not take it down to 3 or 4 if I'm renting. If I have another 10 of 10, that's, what does it pair with? A thief, right? If I had a thief that's 10 of 10, I'd take him down to 3. No problem. I have no issue. Is it a monk?
Yeah. Wow. It's your first day on DeFi Kingdom?
I'm rusty. Jeez. And you get ninjas, which are hot right now. Ninjas are hot.
Yeah.
Spicy hot. All right.
I guess I haven't really bred in-house. I don't like using 2 of my own summons. I don't know. Do you guys do it in-house ever?
If you would have showed up at the beginning of the show, you would
I
have
missed.
heard.
Yeah, I missed it. I wasn't even listening. So what'd I miss?
You explain, Easy.
One of our favorite crypto Twitter degen shit posters said if you buy 4 Gen 1s with 10 summons, you can get 65 heroes along, like basically saying buy, what was it? Pirates and monks and just try and make 65 ninjas basically.
Yeah.
So renting, and for me, because I'm shopping, looking for rentals all the time, it's so hard to find rentals that line up now. It used to be you could rent whatever you wanted, because you were less picky. But now if you're picky, just if you buy, I've been buying the Gen 1s and trying to summon in-house. I wasn't up until like 3-4 days ago.
Yeah, and that's like I was actually debating that recently because I think I mentioned I don't have any mining professions because all the ones I bought, we didn't care about professions, and I ended up just getting knights and warriors and priests and wizards that I didn't pay attention to the profession. And now every time I summon, I'm getting those professions that I already bought, right? Like it's hard unless you're renting a profession that's new to breed something that you don't have already, right? So I'd been debating buying just buying some Gen 1s that have gardening and mining professions and then sex them together, right? So that's kind of your thesis is make your own army that way.
Yeah. Someone just asked a really good question. Worm369, Mr. Producer. To use extra tiers on your summon. We can't right now because we're not at level 5. At level 5 is when you can start adding extra tiers for stat bonuses on the children, which is why I've been recommending saving if you have a legendary or mythic. I've not followed my own advice, full disclosure. It's hard to save it for when you get to level 5. You can summon with it, add extra tiers, and then it adds to the first bonus is the highest stat. It adds +1, so on and so forth.
Which is pretty big. I think that's going to be a pretty big, I know we've said it before, but tier sync as far as folks with those legendaries mythics, it's no questions asked. You're going to sync that tier to increase that stat bonus when you're breeding. No question.
Yeah. You're going to have people that get level 5 paladins, all advanced classes. That's already 40. And then they're going to get to level 5. And they're going to want to add 10. And then, so now you're at 90 per. You get to level 20. You're at 60 plus 40, 100. And if you guys have been doing quests, the tiers don't drop like they do at the well.
Yeah.
And who's going to the well right now? Not me.
Don't go to the well. That is financial advice. Do not do that. Don't waste your stamina there. So we got quite a few questions of, hey, look at this hero. Hey, look at that hero. I don't really want to do that all for the entire rest of the stream, but shameless plug, hit that like, hit that subscribe button down below, and I'm going to put a link in the chat to Mr. Pete Overzet's Deposit Kingdom Discord, where the 4 of us met and hang out a lot of the time, and go into club NFTs, and then let us know that you have questions about heroes, and we'll hang out and chat about the heroes, because we are really deep into DeFi Kingdoms. We want to get people involved, and so come on, ask us some questions down there. I think that's a great spot to do it. So any other topics? I just want to give easy sexing blue balls now. Any other topics we want to cover on DeFi Kingdoms before we let him summon these heroes together? Anything else? I'm out of current topics, at least.
I have a question, and it's more like I'm not as into the weeds as Gump EZ. So other than the meditation circle, which is the ability to level up, and gardening and mining coming, what's the thing you look forward to next? Like what are they talking about that would be the next thing? Like I worry those 3 things get implemented. That's and then we kind of lose our momentum a little bit. Like I don't think that'll be the case, but what's on the docket that people can still be look forward to after those things are done?
I don't know sequentially, but the quests are what us greedy people want because it helps our jewel balance. But if you believe in the game, it's the battling and land that really matters. And I really, really, really want land. I've got I've got my raffle entry in the bank. You're going to be printing if you own land. There's going to be 1,000 plots, and right.
Yeah, no, I was like excited thinking about
and
it.
then so that's just on Harmony. So as far as Harmony, I think the carrot, like after they release the meditation and the rest of the quest, the next carrot they're going to dangle is battles and such, and also migration toward Avalanche and Phantom and what other things. That's probably like a Q1, Q2 next year thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's super exciting too, I think, as far as reaching more users, because those are multiples larger than Harmony.
Yep.
And I think people might rotate over too, because folks are using the bridge now to get over to Harmony, but rotate some profits if they did well on the other chain, and then come on over and then buy a few more heroes, and then we're not worried about the oversupply because people are buying those heroes. So yeah, I'm most interested in that interchain navigation for DeFi Kingdom. And I know Gump was like, okay, early on, Gump was saying if Harmony is terrible, and it has not been, but if it is terrible, they're prepared to move to a different chain, basically. But they were hinting at that. But really what I think they were hinting at was you can play this game, but on multiple different chains, which is crazy. So that may also get you the chance at Gen Zero heroes, which I'm also very interested in. That's for me, that's likely more in my bankroll versus land. But we'll see. I'd love to have some land because I think that'll just be a money printer. It'll be crazy.
How much would you guess land would cost?
Say 10.
Yeah. Okay.
I would take if I had to take, what's that, 75,000, right?
Yeah. Please don't do that again.
Like 73 now.
Here's the thing though, is you're going to be able to sell, I assume, your land to get the opportunity, if you don't win the raffle, to get the opportunity to buy the land will be an accomplishment in itself, because it's going to be distributed via questing and battles. So it's going to be the four of us, whoever has the best hero or team of heroes is going to fight to have the right to buy the land. And if I win that, like, I will liquidate whatever I have to liquidate to buy the land. If only 100%. to flip it the next day. Period. Like
100%.
You would rather, if you like, and this is like a very niche question that I don't want to like this does not apply to everyone. If you had 10,000 jewel, which is absurd, would you rather it on land over any other investment? Like, let's like in this
within jewel,
like all investments, or just DeFi?
Would you liquidate your LP if you couldn't? This is probably a silly question of financial advice, but
absolutely.
Point being, this is not financial advice. We're all excited for the land, right? Over anything else. As far as
I would liquidate any asset on the blockchain that I had to pay for the land, if I had to. If I was scraping the bottom of the barrel to pay for it, I would be planning to flip it. No, I'd still buy it. I'd still do it.
Oh, okay.
Assuming the current environment of the game is the same, where people are excited and like foaming at the mouth. Look at the four of us. I mean, I'm surprised it's not coming out of mine to buy the land. There will be whales that don't ever get the opportunity to buy land because they're not grinding their heroes and leveling them up, but they'll pay you 15,000 jewel the next day because they don't care. That doesn't mean that much to them to buy the land. There's 1,000 plots of land total on Harmony, period. So don't take a mortgage out on your house or anything.
No.
But if you can somehow make it work and you have the opportunity to buy land, I would. If I had a Bored Ape, I'd sell it to buy land.
realize some profits.
I'm just kidding.
I don't think you are kidding.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
About that.
I don't want to get attacked.
I do. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna babble about land for a while because I am frothy about land as well.
It's just going to be passive income. Like if you don't flip it, it's passive income. They've talked about resources, guilds, and people were going to be like basically working for you because you own the land. You're like a slumlord or landlord.
How dare you
Landlord.
call DeFi Kingdom land slums? Where do you get
I'm
off?
just saying. It's actually called Serendale. I don't know if you knew that, Dangy. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Where would you see that? Where
Did
did
you
you
not
see
read
You didn't read the Lost Annals Volume 4?
I need to.
There's a name for our kingdom. It's called Serendale.
It was in the white paper
Here's the
too,
thing.
wasn't
Okay.
it?
It is? Ooh.
Yeah,
You
I thought
all-
like they had a
so-
description of the kingdom in there.
So we were all excited about the new release coming today, which is coming in now 35 minutes ish, allegedly. And so Pump or then Babs was like, "Hey, I want to join the show." I go, "Great, Babs, join the show." Easy's like, "Hey, I want to join the show." I go, "Great, Easy, join the show." I go, "Great, these guys are sharp. So we're gonna go look at my bag and tell me what to do and give me financial advice." That was my whole plan for the show because I don't know what I'm doing. So no, I didn't read the Lost Annals Part 4. No, I didn't. I've read the white paper. I don't remember it. So yeah, it's all a gambit to get you all to do my job for me, basically. So you won't take my seed phrase to do it. This is as close as we can get. All right. I believe it's time.
Thank you.
Easy. Can you
All right.
can you give us the backstory on this? Because you've been chomping at the bit for a while. Slow down.
Well, I want to
You're
tease
already
it
there.
first.
Slow down.
Oh, sorry, I'm not native to hosting shows and sharing my screen. You tell me how do I tease this? I overinvested in heroes by a lot, or rather, I got lucky with the rarity motto. Is a better way to say it, and timing. Can we look at my heroes?
Yes, please.
So I got
34 is not that many though. You must have sold some.
No, I got up to 40. I sold 15, and I climbed my way back.
Those guys are okay.
So, okay, all right. Let's see. This is what I've been teasing. Oh no, I got.
Did you buy that Mythic Monk?
I did when we first started.
Oh shit!
Remember, like the Mythic? I was like, Mythics are the Gen 0 was 2,000 Jewel. And the Mythic Gen 1, this is before summoning was happening. So we had Gen 1s and we had Gen 0s. And the Mythic floor was 1,200 Jewel at $4 a Jewel. And Gen 0s were 2,000. And I was like, who the heck wants a rare Gen 0? I want a Mythic. The Mythic is the best thing in the game. Wrong.
Yeah.
So
why didn't we think of that more? Because I remember when you bought it, because I was contemplating too. I said, Mythics are those the Nakamoto's of Zed Run? Like, should we all be buying one because they're never going to be this cheap again? But why didn't we think of that as being Gen Z's instead or Gen Zeros instead?
No, we did.
Because I know Steely bought one too. Steely bought a Mythic when you
Bankroll.
did too. It was only but if you're dropping 1,200, you're dropping. You should have dropped
back in time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not saying we don't have the bankroll. I mean, like Steely bought a Mythic too. I thought it was a genius idea, but why did we not think of, doubling down on the little more expensive one? Gump, go ahead.
Somebody said something today that really stuck with me. If you're going to mint one, you may as well mint two. So 2 Mythics would have been a Gen 0. But the answer is Babs is we were dumb and didn't know. We weren't factoring in.
The one thing, tiers were like the most premium asset. Well, not, I mean, heroes, but like heroes had no utility at that time. And tiers were hard to come by. So I didn't know that we would have 50,000 heroes. Yeah, we had 2,000 Gen 0s and we had whatever people came up with. So I was like, ooh, there's very few. In theory, and I'm flooding my own bags, there's unlimited Gen 1 Mythics. Over time, there's going to be unlimited Gen 1 10 summon Mythics.
Alex, I want to put you in timeout. I was very close to clicking the button, but I knew no one else would see it, so it wouldn't be funny for anybody else. But, oh, God, it hurts.
Yeah. Down bad.
We didn't take
We
into
should warm
account. Oh yeah. Let's. Do you have something to warm up with? Otherwise,
of course.
Okay.
What?
Oh
my
I
God.
bought these yesterday or the day before, and I've had good luck here, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that cut. I like that pair.
So this is a Gen 1 Knight with 9 out of 10 summons. And this is a Gen 1 Warrior with 9 out of 10. They're both common. I was trying to budget ball. This is a miner, this is a gardener. So ideally, the combination gets me the Paladin, which is OP, overpowered.
At both.
Unless
At
they
both.
nerf it. At both gardening. It's the best hero in the game of both gardening and
Yep.
Do you think they changed that? Like, why would you have one hero that's the best at 2? Like, well, yeah, I'm just asking, right? Like, it seems
They
weird
will
to me.
not ever change the stat growth percentages. I will
I
shotgun a case of Budweisers if they change the stat growth percentages.
I'm gonna hold you to that because
Please,
I've played
it will not happen.
I've played many RPGs in my life, and they constantly tweak classes. And maybe we're saying this is different, but RPGs are RPGs. People complain, people start bitching because their heroes are useless, and they tweak them constantly.
They can't. I mean, if they do that, I will be the game will die. Like it'll be just like straight up dead. People thought the FUD about new Gen Zeros was bad. If they change stat growth percentages, like that's the foundation of what professions, whatever, questing, whatever, the basis of everything we are doing is based on those stat growth percentages. If they change that midstream, like we're all dust.
Counter
they
argument.
Changed this to 17 seconds instead of 10, by the way.
It's a pain. It's a pain. So impatient.
It was always 17, but it's at 10.
Oh, I'll counter argument though. Like they already kind of changed how professions are working. Like they were not supposed to be as important as they are now, and they already changed it. It was supposed to be like a 10% advantage, and now it's a 40% advantage. That was already a major tweak. And you're saying they're not going to change anything else? Like I think you're.
I wouldn't even call it a major tweak because 10% was never in the white paper.
That was
it was a comment in the Discord.
That
right?
was a
but
Discord
like,
comment.
Discord.
Yeah, that's. Thank you, Easy, for mentioning that. That was never a in stone.
I just think you're too overconfident in the fact that they won't change anything. I just think you should keep that in the back of your mind.
They will pull many other levers before. Oh, you didn't give us the build up to the big sword?
Yeah, he just pressed it.
Well, there is no big sword. No, I haven't pressed it yet, but it's not a big sword. I mean,
I know.
I'm happy to stream.
Yeah, but you got to press. You got to press us for the. We know it's not a paladin now.
Well, I understand, but you don't know if it's a mythic.
Purple.
Okay. Green.
Okay. Be a miner, please.
Gen 2 with 8 summons. Let's see if it's a miner.
Minor.
It is.
That's
with
good.
12 base strength and 8 endurance. That's probably a keeper, honestly.
That's good. That's a keeper for sure. No, that's a good. Yep. That's a good hero. I'd be happy with that.
A 8 summon Gen 2 with mining. You take that.
That's good.
I think that's definitely the place.
That's called a could have been worse.
Yeah.
No, that's called you yell in the Discord that you're down bad, that you only got that. That's
no. Bad, we've seen much bigger flexes than that. But anyway,
are you going for more?
Shall we?
Are we going for the sword off the screen?
Or I can find more heroes to summon with. We can go through and see matchmake. We're going for it.
Are you keeping your your mythic virgin? Like you're not going to summon?
No, I blew it.
Oh, you did already. I can't see.
This is 8 out of 10. There was a comment in the chat, and it was a good one. That asked like, should we be saving our summons for our good heroes? And the answer is yes, if you have any discipline. Yeah. So I'm trying to keep this.
The argument is you wait till you level them up. Like you're gonna sex with them eventually, but your argument is you should wait, right?
Yeah, like I have this guy, which I got super early, that I'm happy with, a rare Dark Knight, and I've kept at 5. But this, I mean, I've just shot these to shit.
Did anybody else want to sex this evening?
Oh yeah.
I do not.
I don't. I
Pump?
don't.
Okay.
You want it? Do you want the screen?
I mean, I don't.
Warm it up.
well,
Warm it up. We need one more.
Okay. Here, let
We
me.
need a hit. We need a hit.
Yeah, let's save the Dread Knight for the grand finale. Okay.
Are we addicted to summoning? I've been a good boy, and basically, I was mentioning this also in the Discord. I was better and more profitable when I was busier with life, and I wasn't able to focus on this stuff and just do things because the constant tweaking was just minus EV for me as an individual. So, that's what I've done lately in DeFi Kingdoms is not summon and not tweak stuff. So I've probably made money by not summoning, but that's going to change. We're gonna be summoning probably tomorrow morning pretty early. Oh yeah. So I think we are addicted in a way, especially when it's plus EV as illustrated by a spreadsheet that I don't know the inputs to, but it says that summoning is plus EV. So therefore, it's got to be.
So I want to at minimum go for an advanced. I'm gonna have to rent
Always.
no matter. I'm gonna have to rent. So monk 6 of 10, probably not. Forager. She's cooling off. She's sore from last night. 4-6 is a no. Here was one I was thinking about. It's a Fisher, but it is a Gen 2 6.
How many? Is that 6 or 8 summons?
6. 6 of 6.
Okay.
Night Thief. This
Ooh.
one, she's
Spent.
But this is probably my second best hero, despite being rare. Thief, rare, blue
Fishing.
luck, fishing, 24 starting. Wow.
Could you flex this hero details? No. You know what I'm talking about. No.
I mean, come on.
Mythic.
Cares
The
about this.
mythic. We want your mythic.
The mythic paladin. I mean, come on. This is like
It's a
arguably the best possible. Oh, okay, never mind.
But it has blue strength
and
so
20. Yeah.
This is one when, to loop back from earlier, when mining comes out, I will be mining with this exclusively. I will not be foraging with it, even though it will be less. I will level up at a rate where my strength and endurance will outpace the foraging stats by quite a bit.
I'll keep your mind open. I think frequency may outperform stats for mining.
Just because of the level up?
I don't know. Yeah.
But I think,
what if
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I think mining, you'd be better off mining with it.
For sure.
It depends on your goals, right? Is your goal to get that jewel out, or is your goal, do you think this game keeps going? How long do you think it goes?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If I could get, if I forage and find some plants and stuff, great. It has 12 foraging right now. It's a worst class of them all to be.
Yeah. It has 26 starting gardening though. Like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Right. Like if I can garden this and get 5 jewel a day, or mine it and get 5 jewel a day at $40 come Christmas, like that's a lot of money. It's $400 a day.
Did we know this? 10 minutes per stamina for mining?
That's changed. That was that's what we've been going off of, but that's what they're working on, changing those mechanics right now.
And that's a lever to pull for sure. And that'll be tweaked, I think, over time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Our current assumption is 6 miners per account is going to be your max.
Right.
And that's an asterisk of like being a baddie that I don't know if we wanted to talk about on stream or not. The per account thing. If you're
using multiple wallets,
should we, if you're being a baddie and creating an LP on another account, to then go unlock. If your mining rewards are 5 to 10 joule a day, let's say, capped, I don't know, 5 to 15, like we're speculating wildly, times 2 accounts at $7 a joule is nice. You know, that's like a full-time job season. But
That used to be my
Yeah.
theory until they said your cap is based on the amount of locked jewel that you have.
Yeah, so you can't
okay.
transfer. Yeah, you can't transfer your locked
So
jewel, right?
Of
if
course,
I make a second
you have to
wallet
start.
and I have 50 locked jewel, I might get half a jewel a day at most.
Gotcha. Okay. This is why I asked.
So my sex candidates are pretty bad, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Which one are you
Do we wanna-
picking?
Do we want to? I think it's one of these two.
Oh no!
Gen
No.
4s? They're expensive though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Scroll
Yeah.
up.
You had the rare one with 6 summons left. I would summon that over the Gen 4s.
Yeah, do the warrior and see if you could find a miner.
Oh, here. This is a Gen 3
Yeah,
6,
that one.
6
That
night
one.
night
That's- yeah,
miner.
that's a good one.
mining.
Oh, it's a
That's the
miner.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. It's miner
Oh.
too.
Purple endurance.
Night. Yeah.
Night
you're doing
night
that.
miner.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we want to look for a warrior. Gen 3 with 6 or more.
Which I'm sure they will add that filter soon. They have to.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
I
need
think
that one because that one's a pain.
Ori brought
there's
this
one.
up. and I
Warrior,
don't know if
warrior.
This is go to the attributes and do your mining or gardening. Yeah, it's slim. Ori brought this up. It's a great point. 50,000 heroes. The tavern is like borderline not navigatable because you have to sift through so much garbage. And like, I shouldn't say that. If let's say the floor hero is 50 jewels and you can get 5 locked jewels unlocked a day, a 10-day payback on your investment like doesn't exist anywhere in the world. So who am I to poo-poo that? But there's a lot of stuff to sort through. Once they add like a summons remaining filter, that hopefully is going to make the marketplace much more easy to navigate. And same for
Then what's the play to exploit it now is to buy those with high summons, right? Or how do we exploit that inefficiency if we assume there is one based upon there not being a summon filter?
I don't think that there is one. I just think that the floor is going to tank on the 0, 1, 2 summons, and because right now people are wise and not listing their full summons cheap.
So then maybe that's one thing we need to watch out for if we're doing that strategy of summon, dump the ones with 3 or 4 summons left. Because even those will tank as well.
Yeah.
I think this is the one right here. It's a Gen 0.
So can I ask why like I get the gardening one because you kind of want a paladin that has gardening if gardening or mining, but wouldn't you want to pick a miner just in case you don't get a paladin, or is that not you do not care enough?
It's expensive, probably.
Mathematically speaking, yes, we would prefer a miner.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Like if price was the same, you would pick a miner.
Oh, 100%. If price was the same. We're degens trying to hit the nuts and getting a paladin. It's like when they say when you play GPP, it's my second fantasy football analogy.
I love it.
You're going to be wrong 99% of the time, but you want the 1% when you're right to pay off massively.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So if I can get, so like here are our choices because we're doing 6 minimum. So I can go Warrior Pirate, Gen 0, Gardener, 60 jewel total. Fine. Next option is Warrior, which if we were getting cute, remember I have a Night, we could go for the subclass. That's 82. Still a Gardener. Is that worth an extra 32 jewel to try for the subclass Paladin?
Doesn't matter. So either way, it ends up as a Gen 3.
Yeah, this would be a Gen 4, won't it?
But what if
Yeah.
you summon with a Gen 0? It's either way. It's a Gen 4.
Correct.
It's +1 to the highest generation in the
okay.
pair.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't.
mean,
This is
this is
expensive.
the first minor that meets our summon criteria. Is 100 versus up here.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
is
worth it to pay
60.
that extra,
No.
right?
60.
You save 40.
Are we illustrating the point of buying and summoning is better than renting and summoning?
Almost.
Yes.
Probably.
Because
and it probably would have been a different call. Well, but you're also being picky on getting a rare, right? Like you could probably find
true.
if you went to an like an uncommon, I bet you can find something that
Yeah, keep
matches
the
a little
filters.
better, right? Like
Keep the filters, yeah. And all you need is 6 summons, right?
Mm-hmm.
and,
So
and
I'm
a week,
thinking-
So you could rent it. So you could rent it for 30, or you could buy it for 130.
Well,
and
it
then
would have
tomorrow
been
you can sell it
right for at least 100.
for 100. It is your break even. That's the math.
And this one's even a minor for 20 jewel more. 6 to 6. Is that worth for a minor 20 more? Probably not. What do you think, Easy? 129 for the gardener or 149 for the minor?
I would go one. I would not pay the 20 jewel for the minor
Or
because you're just
180.
going
Why
to
does
tilt
it
your
need
face
6?
off.
What about 180 for the Gen 2 9 of 9?
No,
But
because
then
now
I'm
that's
wasting
a
a
totally new
6.
hero.
I'm wasting with a
That's
6
totally
of
new
9.
hero.
Yeah.
Matt in the chat asked why it needs to be 6 summons because the hero that Pump Skull owns currently is a Gen 3 with 6 remaining summons. So the summon is going to have 5 max anyway.
it's always
so
one.
It could have
It's always
6,
one
it could have
less
7,
than
8, 9, 10. Yeah.
it's always one less than the lowest summoned parent.
Do you agree though with this math that you could rent it for 30 or you could buy it for 129 and then tomorrow you can hopefully sell it for 100 or more and then you're in the black?
Then I'm Yep.
Because it only costs 30 to sex yourself, right?
That's a flat, yeah.
So it's 30 to sex with yourself, 60 to rent it. So your break even to resell it's 100, right?
This one might be more because that was a Gen 0 that we were looking at before.
Oh, okay.
The deed
after
is
you press the buy button.
The deed is done. Is this the one? No. Where was the one we had picked?
How rich?
Your filters are still on rare. Possibly. Oh no, that's probably not it. Yeah.
Was this?
The one thing to note.
That's the one you just bought, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, you bought a gardener.
That one is what you just bought.
Yeah, there you go. The
thing to note is that lining up the professions, I believe, is an 80% carry down to the summon, which I don't know if you guys are gamblers or statisticians. 80% feels like 100, but it's not, right? So if you're paying up 20 jewels to be like, oh, I really want this minor, 1 out of 5 times you're going to be really pissed that you just spent $150 to guarantee a minor and you didn't get it, right?
So
math may work out, but
what's the math on if you had a mining and a gardening, what's the math spit out that one of them would be a mining or a gardening? So they're not the same profession.
I don't know the splits.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask.
I don't know when you split it.
Gotcha.
I need to know who Scott is. Scott, reveal yourself. But yeah, that.
I always wonder that too when some guys are talking in the chat and I don't know their real names. Who are you?
Wait, to circle back though, your summon fee here is 38, and it would have been 30 for the Gen 0. So I think that Gen 0 is like Will Chamberlain basically.
Mm-hmm.
If people get that reference.
Yeah. Sterling in the chat.
All right, so we want a big sword. A big sword.
That'd be nice.
I think Lisa will do it for you. I think she'll
Fuck
hook it up.
Lisa, come on, girl.
It doesn't feel like a druid name, Lisa. Does it?
All right, here we go. I've had good luck on stream summoning.
That's true.
We're 2 for 2 with rares. Big sword, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. That's what you want to see. All right, color. Let's see color.
We finally got a reaction on the Gump. This is good. We coached.
Oh,
man.
fucker.
Oh,
God
Slow
damn it.
roll.
Oh,
I'd still be happy.
Oh,
Mine.
there you
okay.
go.
It's great.
Blue
yeah.
Endo,
Yeah. Blue.
minor,
Yeah, that's
Pally.
great.
That is a...
That's a W. Yeah, that's a keep.
yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Could have been
That's your forever
worse.
minor right there.
Could have
Yeah.
been worse. Damn it. Oh, if that would have been purple.
That was
Okay.
I'd be happy with that
1 to 10.
outcome.
What would you rate that? That's got to be an 8 out of 10
Eight's an
outcome,
8.
right?
I'd
It's an
say
8 for me. Yeah, 8
And
for me.
she's, I mean, look how
Maybe
hot
more.
she's hot as shit, dude. Dark
Well, plus it's
skin.
it's mining
scale.
too, right? Like factor
Yeah, it's
in the
mining,
like mining
and it's a blue
yeah,
and blue endurance. So if
Paladin,
you keep this for a while, it's gonna be nice.
Paladin, Knight, minor, blue endurance. Gotta say.
Maybe an 8.5.
Yeah, it's 8.5 probably. It's you can't like you that's a great like I've summoned I think 15 or so times and I haven't got an advanced class once and I've tried every time. So
Easy 300 joules, someone said. And the benefit,
Yeah.
I think this is important.
Yeah.
If you get an advanced class, the maximum summons you can have is 5. So if you have a 7 and a 7 and you get an advanced, it's still going to be 5. Or an 8 to 8, still be 5. So this could have been 6 if it was a basic, but or no, it was always going to be 5, wasn't it? In
It
this
was always
case?
going to be 5.
no, it's 5. It's
So-
always 5 no matter
So
what.
all things
But 5 is
considered,
still the
this was-
max.
yeah.
Correct.
So like it was like the best outcome is getting an advanced class when you sex 2 6s because you're not
Right.
you're getting 5 anyway,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
if you summon with two 9, like if you're someone with 10 summons and you get an advanced class, you kind of like burn 4 summons almost, right? Like it's weird that way. Like if you're gonna hit an advanced class, the best way time to hit it's with 2 6 summon parents left, right?
Yeah.
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 That was
You're
your
just
last,
witnessing. You're witnessing these people that hit really rare things for a good chunk of money and just like fudding their own bags. It's like, if you hit an advanced class, then you kind of waste 4 summons. Yeah, but you get $2,000.
It was like
what do you want?
It was like 0.3 ETH after we bought the parent. I
yeah,
spent
but do you
more
want to
on
run
that.
the math? Yeah, so 300 and you invested 130 plus 60 to summon. So you cleared 100 and then you can sell the warrior
My
that you
rare.
bought for 100. So you're up, 200 joule, let's say.
Do you
I'm
think
coming
you
out
can only
ahead.
sell it
That's
for?
not
I bet you can sell it for 120. Like
Probably
people
more.
barely.
I think
you know what I mean?
Paladin,
Like
I think
no, I
think
meant
a
the one he
five-
just
five
bought.
Paladin. Oh, sure.
I think the one he just
Like
bought,
five.
right? Like people don't even barely pay attention to summons, right? Like
This would be the only floor comp that we have.
Yeah.
A Paladin
Minor.
minor
Yeah.
Gen 4 with 5 summons. I mean, I would never get 850. But I think I could probably get
you probably get
maybe 300.
Take 500 and run. 300 is probably
Yeah.
3 to 5 is your window.
Or I could sex it with a Dark Knight and try to get a Gunner. All right, is it main event time?
Yeah.
I have a tease before the main event because I've got a good pair that I've had good luck with, but I have 2 I can go quick.
I
I'm
thought
just
you were
gonna-
going to say
at
that we
this
got
point,
the
we're-
patch
we're-
notes.
At this point, we're gonna get
How-
the patch by the time we're done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to fall asleep on the microphone. I'm going to Francesa this thing right now, pretty soon.
Is it
But
my
we'll keep
voice?
going. What's the main event? I missed the main event.
Bro,
Wake up.
the fucking Dread Knight, dude.
The long
The sword that goes off the screen. It goes off the screen, dude.
I forgot we were doing that still. I forgot.
Well, jeepers criminy.
All right. So easy. Are you doing the Dread Knight or is Gump doing the Dread Knight?
I am.
I'm an
I
idiot.
am.
I'm not equipped
All
to
right.
do the Dread Knight. I've gotten 0 elite classes. None.
Could I do this warm up one more?
Yeah.
Sure.
I've been saving it all day. No, not here. Higher. I bought this Archer Thief combo. I got a really good deal on this rare and this Thief. I forget if they're miners, but had good luck.
God, that feels cheap.
Fire.
Yeah, that's why it's awesome. You know, only 40 jewels for the summon. Right.
I just zoomed out and I'm like, what if we were telling our partners and our wives about like, oh yeah, it's cheap, just doing $210 to sex these two cards together.
What did you tell your wives you had to do tonight? Hey, I need to go talk on a nerd stream about a video game that pays us money, right? Like, how do you explain this to your wives?
She's kind of numb to it now, where no matter what I say, like when I run from the living room to my office to like mint some shitty NFT, there's nothing I could say anymore that.
Yeah, I don't really have a good answer to your question either.
All right, so what are we?
Try to explain it? Like I try to explain it for jokes to see what she says. Like, oh, I sold this JPEG of an ape kid for $1,000, like stuff like that.
Did you? You sold an ape kid?
I have no. No, I haven't.
Yeah, what's the floor on? What's the floor on Ape Kids?
Oh my God, you guys are insatiable.
So yeah, my wife, I'm like, can I go podcast with my nerd friends tonight? And she's like, well, I thought those were on Mondays. And I said, well, no, this one's a special one to talk about our nerd game where we do quests. Like, it's just so funny.
Yeah. The floor on the Ape Kids Club is 0.215.
That's kind of.
But I sold both of my Doge Woods while we were on the show, so I'm happy with that.
What'd you get? I was
just under 0.5.
Can we come on? This is
sorry.
What
is
you
guys are spending?
What is the nuts here? What's the nuts?
We're going for a Dark Knight. I have a rare Archer with a common Thief. We're going for a rare Dark Knight.
All right, let's go.
The nuts, and we are pending.
I was talking just background noise while you got it set up. We were watching you. Don't worry. Easy.
Have you heard of vamping?
I don't know what a ninja looks like, but or a Dark Knight. I don't think this is.
That's an archer. Is it a bow? It's got a bow.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, it looks like an archer.
Let's go. He's all disappointed. That's great.
A leggy. Let's go. Flip it around. Flip it around.
He can't keep getting away with this.
Flip it around.
Yeah. A miner for an archer archers suck, but a mining archer is good because
it's orange, dude.
It's gonna be dude. This couple is hot. The first time I summoned with them, they also got me legendary. So
wow,
I've had 3 summons and 2 were legendaries. I think is this shiny too?
Shiny as a bitch.
Shiny.
Let's go.
Does anyone care? No, but
I do.
Cool.
Easy. How do you remember your sex with these things? You're like, this couple's hot. The last one. How do you?
I mean,
he has a log,
spreadsheet, right?
Yeah.
No, I stopped updating it because it was so minus EV. I got really tilted.
But you bought these for the purposes of sexing them.
Yeah, this is all in the last 48 hours. So I remember.
Okay.
Them.
Is that 7 a 7?
Yeah, it's 7 left.
Because there were
Gen
2 Gen
2.
1.
It's a Gen 2. So
there's
nice.
a Gen 2 7/7.
Gen 2. What's the floor on a Gen 2 legendary? Like it's got to be
high.
500?
300 maybe. No, it's
but 300 with summons gone though. I bet
it's in the spreadsheet,
sure.
Right?
I know the details to your parents, but off the top of his head, he knew the outcome, the previous outcome from these two.
300 is the floor. The floor, like the donkey floor, like the worst floor possible is 300.
This is
for a Gen 2. Left. Yeah, no, that's for 7 summons.
Okay.
But still,
300. I mean, you take that. Yeah.
That's like a 5% outcome, maybe, or worse.
Yeah.
For legendary.
So dexterity, and so this is 21 foraging too. We'll see. I don't know.
It's an archer. Archer.
Is this an archer?
Yeah.
Is this an F?
Yeah, for sure you would. Yeah.
F
at least 3.
Or maybe sell it.
I'd probably F it at least 2 or 3 times.
You have 80 dexterity is your top one. Endurance is 60. So the second and third best stat growths for Archer are mining stats. So
yeah.
Like it's a fine
in a funnel to a dark night. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't sell that.
We're hot, right?
We're hot.
That was a good warm up.
Yeah.
I mean, the orange boy. Okay, tell everybody what's happening.
All right, let me go tease it a little bit.
You're going to the tavern. I already know what the floor
let's
is.
see what we're doing.
Disgusting.
You know what the floor is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I just wanted to see what the 3/3 Dragoon or Sage floor is. I don't even know what those are. Look at all these guys are all spent.
They have no fucks left.
Zero fucks to give.
Oh my god.
Do you have to put an explicit tag on these videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the floor for a 2 summon is in the 500 jewel. Here's one for 600. So 600 jewel each. Here, what's a Dread Knight?
So what he was just looking at were the elite classes, which is basically the best you can get outside of the god tier as far as performance goes. And what are we trying for?
Can we look at this one?
We're trying for a Dread Knight, which is currently the best class in the game that you can possibly get. And there's what? Isn't there only like 20 or 30 of them total?
Somewhere. There's only 4 listed on the marketplace.
Yeah.
With a floor of 5,000. I don't know how liquid it is, but
there's got to be one more class, isn't there?
Would you rather have a Dread Knight or a Gen 0?
Gen 0.
Gen 0.
That's probably why these aren't selling then, right? Because Gen 0 kind
of
no,
they may be selling. I mean, there's only 4 listed. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just wondering what's the highest Dread Knight sale?
Andrew's saying 25 total Dread Knights.
Okay.
I think the safer play is probably the Gen 0 because you can just summon that all day long and print.
But maybe the Dread Knight prints because of battles and right.
Like you may have to wait some more time to realize that, but we'll see. We don't care.
So this is high for everybody because you won't say it. This is high stakes sexing. Real high stakes.
Do you want to explain why?
I'll let Easy explain why they're his babies.
No, you do. You go for it.
You saw the floor. This Dragoon and Sage are hard enough to get on their own. They take a shitload of tiers. 140 tiers you have to spend.
70 each, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiers are free now. But yeah.
And the Dread Knight is the rarest, best. Like the stat growths are off the chart. If this game lasts 3 years, if you have like a mythic Dread Knight, you will run the world. Like, period.
According to Scott, there's been a 7,500 jewel sale on a Dread Knight.
Yeah.
So, I think this should be a walk-off reveal once we get to the card. We'll do a little spinaroo and then say goodbye. So, all right, everybody, like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Oh, you're doing stuff. Follow Gump Skull on Twitter. He doesn't care about Twitter though. Follow Easy on Twitter. I don't even know what his Twitter handle is. Babs has made it very known that he does not want you to follow him on Twitter. So
people can follow me, but like all I'm doing is trying to retweet to get on whitelists and shit. So I'm boring, right?
All right. Silence.
Oh, the countdown has already started. The 17 second. I'm nervous.
We're looking for the biggest sword you've ever seen in your life.
Are you literally shaking?
Literally shaking. Literally shaking.
I'm excited.
Mate, like ready to hit open.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, I gotta sign. I'm gonna do.
Now I'm nervous. Now I'm sweating.
Is he gonna fast gas?
69. Yeah, I'm gonna fast gas it. I'm gonna spend 0.141 for good luck. That's no sword.
Still
wait,
good.
this is a wait. Isn't this a sage?
Yeah.
As a sage, still
sage.
good. This is a very
Okay.
good outcome no matter what the rarity is.
We love sages.
Okay.
Still fine. That's not a terrible outcome.
Flip it around. A
'Cause-
sage.
Well, that's a big Gardner.
17, 24.
Oh, that's a
Are
big
you-
Gardner.
Ooh,
Jeez.
okay.
Yeah, you
Well,
gotta
we
be
didn't
happy
quite
with
walk
that.
it off because we didn't hit. If we banked, that would have been a cool walk up. But
Yeah,
you
that's
take
pretty
these.
good.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a keeper. Thank you all for your time hanging out. We crossed the 2-hour mark. I'm going to pass out. Bye.